Morning, YouTube. Welcome to another Cook with Smokin' Joe's barbecue. Gonna do some center cut beef ribs today. I was hoping to find some short plate ribs yesterday for my birthday, but my butcher, I was hoping he was gonna be there, and he no longer works there. So found a new guy, Al the butcher, good Italian guy. Can't go wrong with Italian people, especially when they're a butcher. They know how to cut up some meat, if you know what I mean. Anyway, he didn't have no beef plate ribs or short ribs, so he hooked me up with some beef back center cut or center cut beef ribs, however you want to call it. And I'll tell you what, let's take a look at them. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed. Nice and meaty, and the best thing, guys, I have no membrane to remove, none. That is awesome. So makes life easy for me. I mean, there is no membrane at all. Hopefully they won't fall apart. We'll see. Gonna do slow and low, about 225, 250. I'm gonna use some extra virgin olive oil and just coarse salt, or coarse black pepper, and some kosher salt. And that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna do it on my old 1971 Weber Kettle today, and hopefully we can beat the rain out here in Phoenix, Arizona area, in Peoria, and it's a little overcast. So let's get this thing going, and I'll be back in a little bit after I get these seasoned up. I just want to give you a quick glance. Added some OVO to the back. Put on the dry rub. Like I said, just coarse black pepper and kosher salt. Nothing fancy. So get to the other side, and we'll go from there. Talk to you soon. Happy smoking. Alright guys, what's a video without having some seasoning action being done? That way you know it was me that was preparing them and not somebody else. Anyway, just wanted to show it. The whole purpose of the video, to have fun. There you go, guys. Outside to the Weber, get things going on them out there. I'll show you how I'm setting it up for my slow and low and what I do. The way I've been doing it for my slow and low is I use a couple fire bricks as a divider, and I get a little aluminum foil pan on the other side and add some water to it for moisture, and also catches the drippings off the meat that I'm cooking. Why spend 160 bucks on a slow and sear when you can get the same performance out of 2 fire bricks that separates them and add a water pan? So think about it. $10 for a couple fire bricks, 50 cents for a foil pan. Water is free. Well, not really, but anyway, it beats spending that money for a slow and sear as far as I'm concerned. Just my 2 cents. See you in a little bit. Alright, here we are outside. Like I said, got the old 1971 Weber out here. This is how I set it up for my indirect slow and low. Use 2 fire bricks. Got them cut on a little bit of a bevel here, so it fits in there pretty nice. Water pan, about 1 gallon of water. I'll mix some apple juice in there, or apple cider vinegar, before I put the meat on. Kingsford briquettes. I'm going to use some pecan chunk wood today. About 3 or 4 chunks. Got about 6 briquettes down there lighting up with a little fire starter cube. Once I get going, about 15 minutes, and I'll dump them right here in the corner. Alright guys, add the lit charcoal to the corner, place it over there in that corner, put a piece of pecan on top, another piece right next to it, and a third piece. We should be good to go for about 5-6 hours easily, and we'll go from there. Got my temperature probe right there. We got 97 degrees, got a ways to go. So anyway, let's let this thing rock and roll, and we'll get back to you once we get up to temp. Talk to you soon. Alright guys, let's get these center cut beef ribs on the old Weber Kettle here. Approaching temps 237. So vents are shut down on the bottom, about a pencil width all the way around. The top one, I'll shut that down about right there, and we'll get these beef ribs on. Back in a minute. Center cut ribs are on. Getting a little flare up. We're going to shut this lid and let those beef back ribs rock and roll for a while. Check in about 2 hours. Talk to you now. Alright guys, just want to do a fast check, see how they're doing. It's been an hour. I know I said 2 hours, but want to make sure nothing's burnt up on the edges or any flare ups or any extreme heat. Always like to check. Doesn't hurt to check. It's not like I'm leaving it open for an hour. Looking good. Come back in an hour and we'll spritz them. Alright guys, we're back at the 2 hour mark. Give these guys a spritz. And I'm going to flip them from, take this one, put it here, take this one, put it there, flip them back and forth. Back at you in a little bit. Happy smoking. Alright YouTube, about 3.5 hours in, just rotated them back around. Used about half the coals so far. Run about 170, 176 degrees on the internal temps of the meat. I'm gonna let them go another half hour, and I'm gonna wrap them in some butcher paper. See you in a little bit. Alright YouTubes, we're at the 4 hour mark. Color looks great. Time to wrap these bad boys up. See you back in the house. We wrap them up in some butcher paper. Alright guys, in the house, gonna wrap them up, put them on some butcher paper. Internal temps are about 176 to 179, 178. So, like I say, you're gonna wrap them up and put them back on the Weber Kettle and pull them off. When they probe like butter. That should be around 203, 205, somewhere in there. Alright, so I wrap them up in butcher paper, take 2 sheets, piece them down the center, get them nice and tight. Take them out, put them on the smoker. Quick shot. Back on the Weber, wrapped up. Come back, I'll check them in about an hour, but I'm looking about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours till they probe tender. See how it goes, take it from there. Alright guys, happy smoking. Alright YouTubers, well, what seemed like it took forever, took almost 8.5, 9 hours for these center cut beef ribs. to reach an internal temperature of 201, 199. Pulled them off. Gonna let them rest about 15-20 minutes. Then we'll cut into them and see what we got. Talk to you soon. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes. Just unwrapped them from the butcher paper. Get a close up. Got some great bark to them. I don't use butcher paper that much. I think it had a lot to do with holding the stall, if you want to say that. I mean, not like it's, you know, a brisket or a pork butt, but it's still a hunk of meat that goes slow and low. But normally if I wrap them in aluminum foil or put them in a foil pan and wrap them, it seems the process is less of a stall. Next time around I'll see what the difference is after they reach 170 degrees. And when I wrap them in foil or put them in a foil pan and see what the difference is. But smells out of this world. I'm going to cut into them and I'll get back to you when I do that. Again, I'm going to do this all by myself as far as camera wise, using my phone. I don't have no stationary camera on tripod, nothing like that, so I apologize. And I appreciate you guys being a part of my subscription on YouTube and following my videos. See you in a couple minutes. Alright guys, I'm back. Sliced them up. Moment of truth. Nice smoke ring. Turn a couple more of these around. Oh my goodness. Let's get a bite. Wow. Super tender. Great color. Nice bark. That smoke ring. Take a look at the rest of them. Man. Get another bite, guys. I'm sorry. Well, do a rundown. Didn't have to pull no membrane off these, which was a headache. Didn't have to be done. Used OVO for a binder for the kosher salt and coarse black pepper. Temperatures ran between 225 and 250 the entire cook. Spritzed them after the second hour just with water. Didn't add anything to it. Weber Kettle, old 1971. Ran great, did its job. Turned out great, tender, juicy. Man. It's going to be some good lunch. I appreciate everybody sticking around. Sometimes it takes a little longer to get these things up to temperature, but I'll tell you what, find yourself a good butcher who doesn't shave down to center cut beef back ribs too much, and you're going to enjoy yourself a nice little meaty dinner, lunch, or just a snack. Anyway, once again, subscribe, like, leave a comment, share, tell your friends, pass it along. I appreciate it. You guys take care and happy smoking. Yummy.